Welcome to tonight's sleep story. Let's drift into a soothing story together as you begin your journey into a restful and rejuvenating sleep. Imagine yourself standing in a peaceful meadow, the gentle warmth of the afternoon sun soaking into your skin. The air is crisp, the soft breeze brushing against your face, carrying with it the faint scent of wildflowers and fresh earth. You are surrounded by nature's quiet hum, the soft rustling of leaves, the distant chirping of birds, and the faint whisper of the wind. The world feels still, almost as if time itself has paused, allowing you to fully experience the moment. In this serene place, everything seems possible, and the world is full of promise. As you walk through the meadow, your footsteps light and soft against the earth, you catch sight of someone standing in the distance. At first, you cannot tell who they are, only that there is something about their presence that draws you in. The air around them seems to shimmer, filled with a kind of warmth that feels both comforting and unfamiliar. The figure turns to face you, and in that instant, you recognize them. Their eyes meet yours, and it is as though everything around you fades away, leaving only the two of you in that one perfect moment. The world, for a brief second, stops moving. Your heart beats just a little faster, your breath catches in your chest. The connection between you and this person is immediate, powerful, and undeniable. There's no need for words, for explanations, for introductions. In their eyes, you see something that you have been searching for your entire life, a recognition, an understanding, a bond that transcends the world around you. You do not know it yet, but this moment marks the beginning of something profound, something that will change you both in ways you cannot yet understand. As you move closer, you can feel the warmth of their presence, and with every step, the world feels just a little bit brighter, a little bit more alive. The distance between you and this person closes, and the world around you seems to hold its breath in anticipation. There is no rush. There is no need for haste. The moment is perfect in its simplicity, and all that matters is the connection between the two of you. When you finally stand before each other, your hearts are open, and the silence between you speaks volumes. Their smile, gentle and sincere, reaches their eyes, and in that smile, you find a depth of understanding that words can never capture. There is a sense of belonging in that smile, a sense of knowing that you have both found something precious. This is love in its purest, most unspoken form. It is not something that can be explained or defined. It simply is, and in that moment, the world feels full of possibility. The future, with all its uncertainties, seems to fade away, leaving only the present, this shared connection between two souls. There is no need for promises, for plans, for dreams of the future. All that matters is the here and now. The love between you is pure, unburdened by the complexities of the world, and it exists in its most perfect, unblemished form. The breeze picks up slightly, swirling around you both, and the soft rustle of the grass beneath your feet seems to echo the quiet pulse of the world. There is a sense of harmony in the air, as if nature itself is holding its breath, witnessing the quiet magic of this moment. The sun continues to dip lower in the sky, casting a golden glow over the meadow. But for you and this person, time seems to stand still. The world and its infinite complexity has narrowed down to this one beautiful, serene moment. You have found each other, and that is enough. Dot in the distance. The sound of birds calling to each other echoes softly like a gentle lullaby. And as the moment stretches on, you realize that this is the beginning of something profound, something that will shape your life in ways you cannot yet understand. But for now, there is only this, the soft, quiet pulse of life that beats between you, the connection that has been forged in this perfect, silent moment. Dot as the days pass. The once clear and golden path of love begins to show its first signs of complexity. The season has shifted. The vibrant colors of spring have given way to the soft browns and greens of autumn. The air carries a crispness now, filled with the earthy scent of fallen leaves and the promise of change. The world around you and your lover feels different, as though the very rhythm of life has slowed down, becoming more contemplative. It's as if time itself is urging you to notice the small, delicate transitions of the world. You and your lover walk together through this changing world, but the pace is no longer as carefree. The bond between you is strong, yes, but now there are more than just smiles and soft words. You begin to notice the unspoken barriers between you, small things at first that seem insignificant but grow in their presence as time moves forward. The world you both occupy is not as simple as you once believed. The love between you is still there, but it is being tested by the unrelenting pressures of life. The first sign of strain comes in the form of a subtle disagreement. It's nothing major, just a small difference in opinion, a miscommunication. Really, but it leaves a crack, a sliver of uncertainty that wasn't there before. Perhaps it's something as trivial as a decision about the future, a question about the direction of your lives, or maybe it's the weight of responsibility that presses on your shoulders, causing you to pause and reconsider what you both thought was forever. The tension is palpable. There's no shouting, no heated arguments. It's just a quiet discomfort, a shift in the air, like a cloud that briefly darkens the sky before moving away. Yet it lingers, an unspoken question hanging between you both. Could this love survive outside the bubble you've created? Could it withstand the harshness of the world, the pressures of reality that cannot be ignored forever? You try to reassure each other, to promise that these bumps are simply part of life, part of growing together, learning about each other, and finding a way to coexist in a world that doesn't always make room for love. But the words feel heavy now. They do not come as easily as they once did, and the smile you exchange feels somewhat forced, as if you're both trying to convince yourselves that everything will be okay. You walk beside each other, yet you begin to feel the distance growing between you, like the stretch of a shadow as the sun sets. Dot, and then comes the moment when you realize that love, for all its beauty, is not as simple as it seemed in the beginning. Love is not just about the passion that flares when eyes meet across a room. It is about the quiet moments in between, the sacrifices made in the name of togetherness, and the understanding that both hearts must bend and change to meet the other halfway. You both wanted to believe that love would be effortless, that the world could fall away and leave you two in perfect harmony. But the truth is that the world is loud and messy, and love must contend with that noise. You see your lover in a new light now, not as a flawless dream, but as a real person with their own fears, desires, and doubts. They are not just the person you imagined them to be in the warmth of your early days together, but someone who has lived a life with baggage, with experiences that color how they see the world. And as much as you wish that love could smooth over those differences, you know that it cannot. You too carry your own weight, the quiet fears that you've buried, the dreams that feel too fragile to voice, the questions about what comes. Next, you find yourself questioning about the future, about this love, and about whether it's enough to overcome the complexity of both your lives. You don't have answers yet, but you begin to realize that love is a journey, not a destination. It's a dance, a process of learning and unlearning, of adjusting and accepting. The breeze grows cooler as you and your lover walk side by side, no longer in perfect synchrony, but still moving forward. The world around you feels quieter now, less certain, and yet in the uncertainty, there is something deep and beautiful. A recognition that love, while not perfect, is worth the fight. The cracks in the surface don't mean the love is broken. They simply mean that it's growing, changing, becoming something new. Asterisk, the path ahead is still unknown, but deep down, that as long as you continue together, as long as you walk hand in hand, you will find your way through the challenges, through the moments of doubt, and into a deeper, more profound understanding of each other. As the weeks unfold, the once vibrant connection between you and your lover begins to feel distant. The promise of forever that once seemed so clear now feels like a fog settling between you both, unspoken but heavy in the air. It's not that you've stopped loving each other, far from it, but the love you once shared so freely and effortlessly is now clouded with doubt, burdened by the weight of life's demands. The once spontaneous smiles and easy laughter have been replaced with silence and hesitant words, each of you retreating into your own thoughts, afraid to confront the growing chasm between you. You spend your days side by side, but the moments of closeness that once defined your relationship are now rare, like fleeting glimpses of the past. The late night conversations, the plans for the future, the shared dreams, these have given way to routine, to responsibilities, to the overwhelming pressure of trying to keep your lives in balance. Each day feels like a step further away from the person you once were to each other, and yet neither of you knows how to bridge that gap. You can feel the distance widening, but neither of you is willing to take the first step to close it. Your lover, once so full of hope and warmth, now seems distant, as if the weight of life has closed them off, creating a barrier that you can no longer break through. You try to remember the way they looked at you when love was new, those eyes filled with admiration, that smile that made everything else fade away. But now, it's as if that connection has faded, leaving you both standing in a world of quiet disconnection. In the quiet of your own mind, you begin to wonder if you've made a mistake, if you're not meant to be together after all. The thought of parting is an unbearable one, but the thought of continuing this way without the intimacy, without the spark that once burned so brightly, feels equally unbearable. You can't help but wonder, is this how it ends? Is this the price you pay for love, for choosing to share your life with someone else? The pain of not knowing is far worse than the pain of the imagined end. One evening, as you walk alone by the riverbank, the cool air wraps around you like a comforting embrace. The world is quiet, the sound of the water lapping against the shore offering a soothing rhythm to your scattered thoughts. You stop for a moment to breathe, to feel the peace of the night. The stars above shine softly like tiny pinpricks of light in an infinite sky. You take a deep breath, letting the cool night air fill your lungs, and for a moment, everything feels still. In this quiet, you realize something profound. You are not lost because of your love for each other. You are lost because you have lost yourself in the process. You think back to when your relationship began, to the dreams you shared, the ambitions you each held. You remember who you were before love became complicated. Somewhere along the way, you both stopped being the people who first found each other, the people who fell in love with no strings attached, without hesitation. Love was once the light that guided you through every challenge, but now it feels like the heavy weight of your mistakes. Your regrets dot as you stand there. The realization washes over you. Love is not meant to be a thing that you lose. It is something that must be nurtured, protected, and understood. You have to rebuild not only the connection between you and your lover, but also the connection within yourself. You cannot give love if you do not first love yourself. And so you decide to stop looking outward for the answers. You will find them within yourself. Only when you understand your own heart again can you begin to understand your lovers, to rekindle the spark that you both so desperately need. The next day, you sit down with your lover, your heart heavy but determined. The air between you is thick with unspoken words, but this is the moment. There is no more running, no more pretending. The truth is out. Now your hearts are not where they once were, but that does not mean they cannot be brought back together. You both need time. You both need space to understand what you want, but most of all, you need to be open with each other. The conversation that unfolds is slow, uncertain at first, but as the hours pass, you begin to find each other again. It's not an easy path. There are tears, there are apologies, and there are still many questions. But there is also something new emerging between you, something that was missing in the past few weeks. Hope. Hope that the love you shared can be revived, that the person you once were to each other is still there, waiting to be rediscovered. In the days that follow, you take the time to rebuild, not just your relationship, but yourself. You both make a conscious effort to remember why you fell in love, what you admired in each other, and how to honor the individuality that each of you brings into the relationship. This rebuilding is slow, and it's not always easy, but it is steady. And as the days pass, you begin to feel the first signs of warmth returning. The spark that had seemed so lost is now flickering again. Soft and steady dot as the weeks pass, the quiet efforts to rebuild begin to take root. The air has cooled now, marking the arrival of winter. With its crisp, refreshing bite, the ground covered in the soft, pure white of snow. The world seems quieter, as if nature itself is holding its breath, giving space for reflection. Each day brings a little more peace, a little more clarity, though the weight of the past still lingers like the frost on the windows. There is a sense that the two of you are beginning to find your way back to one another. Step by cautious step dot in the stillness of the early mornings, you both begin to speak more freely. The conversations that once felt heavy now carry an ease. Even though the vulnerability remains, you share not only your hopes and fears, but also your quiet, unspoken regrets. You admit the distance that had grown between you, not just emotionally, but within yourselves. You admit that you had both forgotten how to listen, truly listen both to each other and to the small, whispering voice inside your own hearts. Each morning, as the sun rises behind a frosted horizon, you take walks together, no longer rushing to move on to the next task, but simply existing in the same space. There's something soothing about the way the snow crunches underfoot, the cold air filling your lungs as you walk side by side. The world is hushed, and in that silence, you begin to hear the quiet rhythm of your own hearts beating once again, in sync, not out of obligation, but because you have chosen to make space for each other in a new way. The change isn't immediate, but it's steady, like the gradual thaw of a frozen stream. The love that had once been tainted by doubt and distance starts to regain its clarity. It no longer feels like a rush or an escape, but something deeper, something that has weathered the storms of misunderstanding and the chill of separation. In the quiet of these moments, you begin to see your partner again, not as a reflection of your past desires, but as the person they are today, with their own growth, their own struggles, their own quiet beauty. One evening, as the sun dips below the horizon, casting the world in shades of soft pinks and purples, you find yourselves sitting by the fireplace, the crackle of the fire filling the space with a warm, steady rhythm. The soft glow of the flames dances on the walls, and the room is filled with a deep, peaceful stillness. You look across at each other, and for the first time in a long time, you truly see each other. Not as a memory of who you were, not as a promise of who you could be, but as you are now to people, each carrying their own story, yet somehow still finding their way back to one another. Asterisk, the air in the room feels softer, as though the space between you has been cleared of the old wounds, the old misunderstandings. You reach for each other's hand, not out of necessity, but out of a quiet recognition. In this simple touch, you both understand that the love you have is no longer one of fleeting passion or naive hope. It is one of choice, of shared experiences, of slow and steady healing. And in that realization, you find a kind of peace, a peace that doesn't demand perfection, but accepts the beauty of imperfection. The silence stretches between you, but it is a comfortable silence. The kind that comes not from avoidance or uncertainty, but from a deep, shared understanding. You don't need words right now, because the truth is already there, felt in the gentle squeeze of a hand, in the soft gazes exchanged, in the way the space around you feels at once peaceful and alive. You don't need to fix anything anymore. The healing, slow and steady, is happening all on its own. The first time you kiss again, it's different. It's not the urgent, fiery kiss of new love, nor the hesitant kiss of two people unsure of what they want. It is simple, calm, and gentle. It feels like coming home after a long journey, quiet, restful, and full of promise. There is no rush. There is only the steady unfolding of two souls rediscovering each other, taking their time, learning to love again in a way that is more mature, more grounded. Asterisk as the days pass, the seasons shift, and the village begins to wake from its winter. Slumber, you and your lover find a new rhythm. You're no longer living in the shadows of past mistakes, but walking forward, hand in hand, in the quiet confidence that you have weathered the storm and come out stronger. You have learned that love is not something you simply find. It is something you create over time with patience, understanding, and a willingness to grow together. As the months pass, the world around you continues to change, each season giving way to the next, marking the quiet passage of time. The soft warmth of spring gives way to the gentle heat of summer, and the once barren trees are now lush with leaves, their branches swaying gently in the breeze. The village, too, has come alive again. Children play in the streets, the fields are full of golden crops, and the laughter of families fills the air. The earth is breathing deeply, and with it, the world seems to breathe anew. But the real transformation is happening within you and your lover. The early days of reconstruction, filled with moments of doubt and fear, have now given way to something quieter, something more stable. The chaos and confusion that once clouded your hearts have faded into the background, leaving behind a clear space where understanding and trust have taken root. You no longer question the bond between you, for it has become something stronger than it ever was before. It is not a love built on promises of perfection, but one that has grown from the shared experience of both pain and joy. You and your lover now share a rhythm that feels familiar, like the steady pulse of life itself. There is no rush in your days, there is no urgency in your actions. Together, you move through the world with a kind of quiet grace, taking each step slowly and intentionally. You understand that love is not about rushing towards some ideal, nor is it about avoiding the discomfort of truth. Love, you have learned, is about presence, about being there for each other. Even in the moments when things are not perfect, when the future is uncertain, it is about choosing to love in the now with all its imperfections. The quiet moments, once so easily overlooked, are now your most cherished. The way the sun filters through the leaves in the morning, casting long shadows across the floor. The sound of the wind through the trees as you walk together, hand in hand. The shared laughter over a simple meal. The quiet comfort of simply being in the same room, existing together without the need for words. These are the moments that fill your heart with a deep, unspoken understanding. And so you continue to walk through life together, side by side, no longer weighed down by the need to fix anything, but instead embracing the beauty of the journey. You know that the path ahead will not always be easy, that there will be moments of doubt, of pain, of uncertainty. But you also know that in those moments, you will have each other. The bond you share is not fragile, it is made of the quiet strength that comes from understanding, from acceptance, from the simple choice to be present. One evening, as the sun sets behind the hills, casting a soft golden glow over the village, you and your lover find yourselves sitting together on the porch of your home, wrapped in a blanket, watching the stars appear in the sky. The world is peaceful, the night calm, and for a long moment, neither of you speaks. There's no need for words. The silence is not uncomfortable, but rather a reflection of the deep connection you now share. You feel the steady beat of your heart, your breathing in sync with theirs, and in that silence you find more than enough dot. You think of the journey you have both traveled, of the moments of joy and sorrow that have shaped you into who you are now. You realize that it was never about trying to reach some perfect destination, but about walking the path together with all its twists and turns, its light and dark. There is beauty in the imperfection, in the mésanges of life. And in that beauty, you have found something far more valuable than you ever could have imagined. A love that is not fragile or idealized, but steady, grounded, and real. The stars above twinkle softly, their light gentle and calming, and for a brief moment, the world feels perfectly still. There is nothing more to be done, nothing more to be fixed. All that matters is the quiet, unwavering love you share, a love that has been tested, shaped, and strengthened by time and experience. As the night deepens, you and your lover sit together, letting the peace of the moment wash over you. Is no urgency to move forward, no pressure to change or grow faster than the world is ready to allow. In this moment, everything is exactly as it should be. You are both present, both grounded, and both at peace. And with that peace, you know that the journey is not over, but it is enough. There is no need to rush towards some idealized future. The love you share is enough to carry you forward, step by steady step into the unknown. And that in itself is the greatest gift of all. The seasons change once more, bringing with them a quiet shift in the world around you. The air is warmer now, the crispness of autumn having melted into the soft embrace of spring. The village, which had once felt still and heavy under the weight of winter, now buzzes with life. Birds sing in the trees, and the flowers begin to bloom once again, painting the landscape in soft pastel colors. There's a feeling of renewal, of fresh beginnings, and it mirrors the transformation that has taken place within your relationship. Love you share, though not as naive or untroubled as it was in the beginning, has become something deeper, something more resilient. It is no longer the passionate, fiery love of youth, but a steady, enduring connection that has been forged through time, struggle, and acceptance. There are no grand gestures now, no sweeping declarations, but rather a quiet understanding between you and your lover, a shared acknowledgement of the journey you've both walked together, and the peace you've found in simply being with each other. Each day, as you walk through the village, you notice the small changes in the world around you. The laughter of children as they play in the streets, The old merchant at the corner of the market with his familiar smile. The familiar faces of the villagers who nod to you as you pass. It's as if the world has settled into a gentle rhythm, much like your own life now feels steady, comforting, and full of moments both big and small. There is beauty in the simplicity of these moments, and the quiet, unnoticed moments that make up the fabric of daily life. You and your lover spend more time together than you ever did before, not because you have to, but because you want to. The simple things now mean more than they ever did. The touch of a hand as you pass the salt, the shared glance across a crowded room, the quiet mornings spent drinking coffee together as the world wakes up. These moments, small as they may seem, have become the foundation of your love. They are no longer interruptions to your busy lives, but the heart of your existence. The quiet mornings become your sacred time. Time to sit together in silence, to share your thoughts, to watch the world come alive outside the window. There is a sense of peace in these moments, as if everything has come full circle. The turbulence of the past, the struggles, the misunderstandings, all seem distant now, as though they were a part of a life you once lived and not the one you are living now. One evening, as you and your lover walk through the village, the sun setting gently behind the hills, you stop at the edge of the meadow, where the grass is soft underfoot and the air smells faintly of jasmine. The night is falling slowly, the sky painted in shades of purple and pink, the stars beginning to twinkle softly above. You look at your lover, their face illuminated by the soft glow of the evening, and for a moment, the world feels perfectly still. In that moment, you realize that love, true love, is not just about the spark that ignites the heart, the passion that burns brightly in the beginning. It is about the quiet moments in between, the daily acts of care, the understanding that grows with time, the willingness to continue walking side by side, even when the path is not always easy. It is in the mundane, the simple, the everyday, that love finds its truest form. You take your lover's hand, the warmth of their skin grounding you in the moment. There is no rush now, no need to prove anything to anyone. There is only the shared journey, the acceptance of where you are now, and the quiet promise that no matter where life leads you, you will always find your way back to each other. Stars shine brighter now, and the night deepens around you. You walk slowly, side by side, the soft grass beneath your feet, the cool night air wrapping around you both like a blanket. There is no need for words, for the silence between you holds all the meaning you need. In the stillness of the night, you both know that you have arrived not at the end of your journey, but at a place of deep, quiet peace, where love is no longer an ideal to chase, but a reality to embrace. Asterisk. The days continue their gentle march forward, each one seamlessly blending into the next like the soft flow of a river. The village, now fully awake with the promise of summer, hums with activity. The air is filled with the laughter of children playing in the fields, the chatter of market vendors selling their wares, and the rustling of leaves in the trees as a light breeze stirs through the branches. Life continues as it always has, in its quiet, steady rhythm. And in this rhythm, you and your lover have found your place. You no longer feel the need to chase. After fleeting moments of passion or grand gestures of love, the years you've spent together have taught you that love is not about fireworks or rushing towards some distant dream. It is about the steady, everyday acts of care and attention, the small gestures that often go unnoticed, but that carry the weight of meaning. The way you make each other's coffee in the morning, the way you hold hands as you walk through the village, the way you listen to each other, truly listen, when life gets heavy. These are the moments that make love real. These are the moments that make life feel full. As the days slip by, you and your lover have created a rhythm of your own. You understand each other's silences, the unspoken words that fill the spaces between you. You've learned the quiet language of love, a language that doesn't need to be spoken because it's felt in every touch, every glance, every shared silence. It's a rhythm that no longer needs to be rushed or forced. It flows naturally, like the seasons themselves, quiet, gentle, and enduring. One afternoon, as you sit together in the garden, the sun warm on your skin and the scent of blooming flowers, filling the air, you reflect on how far you've come. The challenges you've faced, the moments of doubt and confusion, all feel like distant memories now, almost as if they belong to a different life. You realize that love, in its truest form, is not about conquering obstacles or winning battles. It's about learning to move through life together, side by side, with patience, understanding, and acceptance that your lover, sitting beside you with their head resting on your shoulder, smiles softly. There's no need for words, no need for grand declarations. The connection between you is enough. In this moment, you know that the love you share is no longer something fragile or fleeting. It is strong and enduring, built on years of shared experience, trust, and a quiet understanding of each other's hearts dot as you both sit in comfortable silence. The world around you feels distant, as though time has slowed and there's only this moment, this quiet bond between you. The soft rustling of the leaves, the chirping of birds, and the distant murmur of the river all seem to fade into the background. There is only the sound of your breath, the warmth of the sun, and the feeling of your lover's presence beside you. This, you realize, is the beauty of love, the simple, quiet moments where nothing needs to be said because everything that matters is already known. And so, in this peaceful moment, you feel a deep sense of gratitude. Gratitude for the love that has endured, for the journey you have taken together, and for the quiet strength you've found in each other. The road ahead is still unknown, but you no longer fear what it might bring. You know that whatever comes, you will face it together, side by side. The rhythm of life may change, but the steady beat of your hearts together will remain unchanged as the sun begins to set. Casting long shadows across the garden, you and your lover stand together, hand in hand, and walk slowly back toward the village. The world is quiet now, the day winding down, and with it, your journey continues, not with urgency or longing, but with peace, with the comfort of knowing that love, in all its simplicity, is enough. And as you walk through the fading light, You know that whatever the future holds, the rhythm of love will continue steady, unwavering, and true dot as the days stretch into weeks. The rhythm of life continues, gentle and unhurried. The world, in all its quiet beauty, has become familiar. The once unfamiliar faces in the village now feel like part of a larger, comforting tapestry, each individual adding a small piece to the greater whole. The paths you walk, once new and full of uncertainty, are now well worn, familiar to the solace of your feet. You no longer notice the individual steps you take, for they have become part of the journey, part of the everyday flow of life that you and your lover now share. The sun rises and sets with a quiet predictability, casting its light on the world as it always has. Yet now, you notice it in ways you never did before. Each sunrise feels like a fresh beginning, and each sunset, a peaceful end to another day of shared moments. The warmth of the sun on your skin, the coolness of the evening breeze, the gentle sound of the river nearby, all of these sensory experiences had become part of the rhythm of your days. They are no longer just fleeting moments, but anchors, reminders of the beauty that exists in even the simplest things. You and your lover have settled into this quiet, unassuming harmony where there is no rush, no pressure to achieve or strive. There is only the comfort of being with each other, of simply existing together in the present. The days may pass by quickly, but you are no longer concerned with the speed at which they go. You have learned over time that it is not about rushing towards something, but about appreciating the moment you are in. The conversations you share now are not always long or deep, but they are rich with meaning. There is something comforting about the simple act of talking, sharing your thoughts, and listening to each other. You no longer feel the need to prove anything to each other. There is no expectation to be anything other than what you are. There is no need for grand speeches or sweeping gestures. The love between you is no longer about impressing each other, but about quietly understanding and accepting each other's flaws, joys, and dreams. Even the mundane moments now hold a special kind of beauty. The way you both make dinner together in the evenings, the way your hands brush as you pass each other in the kitchen, the soft, quiet laughter that fills the room as you share a joke or a memory. These are the moments that matter. They are the moments that build a life together, brick by brick, smile by smile, word by word. In the past, you may have overlooked them, taken them for granted, but now you savor them. You understand that these small moments are the heart of a shared life, and they are precious beyond measure. One evening, as you walk side by side through the village, the sun setting behind you and casting long shadows across the cobblestone streets, you feel a deep sense of peace. There's no need to rush home, no need to fill the silence with words. The simple act of being together is enough. The evening sky above is painted in hues of pink and orange, and the stars begin to appear, faint but steady, lighting the path ahead. You and your lover are walking into the night, hand in hand, not with any grand plans or expectations, but simply because you enjoy each other's company. As you pass familiar faces, they smile at you and you smile back. There's no need for conversation. The exchange is enough. You know that they understand, as you do, the quiet rhythm of life. And in that understanding, there is a deep connection, not just to each other, but to the world around you. You have become part of something larger, something timeless, and enduring the shared experience of life itself. As you return home, you take a deep breath, inhaling the cool night air. The familiar scent of the earth, of the flowers you planted together in the garden, fills your senses. You stand there for a moment, just breathing, just being. Your lover stands beside you, their presence a quiet comfort, and for the first time in a long while, you feel no need to rush. The future may hold its unknowns, but right now, this moment, this peaceful, quiet moment is all that matters. You smile softly, knowing that the love you share is no longer a fleeting thing, but a steady flame that continues to burn quietly and unwaveringly. You do not need to chase after grand dreams or lofty goals. You have found your place in the world, not in some distant tomorrow, but in this very moment, in the quiet beauty of the everyday as the seasons continue to turn. The village around you thrives, basking in the warmth of the summer months and then retreating into the quiet embrace of autumn. The land around you pulses with the rhythm of life, the gentle growth of crops, the laughter of children playing outside as the days grow longer, and the quiet hum of people settling into their evening routines. Yet, despite the external busyness, you and your lover have found a rhythm of your own. The steady, calm presence between you has become your sanctuary. There is no need for rush, no need for grand gestures. Each day together is its own little story, written not in dramatic highs or lows, but in the quiet moments of shared glance, a touch of the hand, or the soft exchange of words as you make your way through the tasks of the day. There's beauty in the routine, in the simple acts of living, and in the way your lives have slowly become so intertwined. You begin to realize that this simple, quiet connection is the heart of love. It is not about endless excitement, nor is it about avoiding conflict or challenge. It is about showing up for each other in big ways and small, day after day, with patience, understanding, and grace. The world around you may change, people may come and go, seasons may shift, challenges may arise, but the rhythm of your love remains steady, unwavering in its quiet strength. Asterisk one morning, as you both wake early, the first light of dawn stretching across the sky in hues of lavender and gold, you feel a deep sense of contentment. The world outside is still, the air cool and crisp, and you both sit in the warmth of your shared home, drinking tea and listening to the stillness of the morning. The room is filled with soft sunlight, the silence between you so full that words are unnecessary. You simply exist in the moment, feeling the depth of your bond, and in this shared silence, you understand something essential. Love, you realize, is not just about the time spent together, but about the space you create for one another. It's about offering the freedom to be your truest self without the pressure of needing to be anything else. The way your love allows you both to grow, to evolve, to experience life without fear of losing each other, that is the core of what makes it so enduring. And in this peace, in the quiet comfort of knowing that your hearts are aligned, you see the truth of what you've built together. It's not perfect, but it is steady and it is real. It's the kind of love that doesn't need constant validation or external recognition because its value is found in the moments between the words, in the spaces that are filled with shared understanding. It is the love that allows you to simply be together without needing anything more than the present moment. In the evenings, you both find yourselves walking side by side along the riverbank. The sound of the water flowing beside you is a soothing backdrop to your thoughts. The world, though still vast and filled with uncertainties, feels manageable now because you have each other. The quiet connection you share is enough to navigate whatever comes your way. There's no need to plan for everything, to anticipate every moment. You have learned that peace exists in surrendering to the flow of life, trusting that the rhythm of your love will guide you. Even when the path ahead is unclear, the days stretch into months, and the love between you continues to grow, not in the dramatic, sweeping moments that once defined love in your mind, but in the small, quiet ways that make life feel complete. The routine of living together becomes sacred, each moment a gift, each act of kindness a silent promise of companionship. You no longer need to rush or worry about what lies ahead because with each day, you realize that this simple, steady love is all you truly need. And so, as you walk hand in hand into the future, there is no fear, no anxiety about what may come. You are both content in the knowledge that love, in its simplest form, is a promise that doesn't require grand gestures or unattainable ideals. It simply requires presence, understanding, and the quiet strength to continue walking through life together, side by side, with open hearts. As the days continue their slow passage and the seasons turn once more, a deep sense of fulfillment settles into your heart. You and your lover have found something rare, something that cannot be measured by external success or the validation of others. It is the steady, quiet rhythm of a life shared, one that is no longer defined by passion alone, but by an enduring, grounded love that sustains both of you through the changing tides of life. The world around you continues to shift. The village changes, the people change, and the landscape evolves with the passage of time. But within the walls of your home, the heart of your love beats steady, unwavering, a constant in the ebb and flow of the world outside. There is a stillness in your days now, a tranquility that comes from knowing that though life is unpredictable, this love is a constant. It is the foundation upon which everything else rests. You find yourselves spending more time together, not in the rush of life's demands, but in the simple joy of shared moments. You no longer feel the pressure to fill every space with words or actions. The silence between you is no longer an awkward void, but a comfortable space where everything you need is already understood. You have learned the quiet language of love, a language that doesn't need to be spoken aloud, but is felt in every glance, every touch, every shared breath. The world outside continues to be full of noise and distractions, but within the sanctuary of your shared life, there is peace. You no longer seek external validation or approval. The love between you is enough. It is in the way your hands find each other as you walk through the village, in the way you laugh together over a simple meal, in the quiet comfort of knowing that you are both exactly where you need to be. And in these moments, you realize that you have arrived not at a destination, but at a place of profound contentment. Love, you now understand, is not a fleeting emotion, but a steady commitment. It is not defined by passion alone, but by the quiet dedication to each other that grows over time. It is in the small, everyday gestures, the moments of connection, that might seem insignificant to others, but that hold deep meaning to you both. The way you have built your life together, one small step at a time, is a testament to the power of love that is patient, enduring, and rooted in mutual respect. As you sit together in the quiet of the evening, the sun setting softly behind the hills and the air cool with the promise of night, you feel a deep sense of peace. The world, with all its uncertainty and chaos, seems far away. There is no rush, no urgency to move forward. You are exactly where you need to be in this moment with each other. The simple act of sitting together, watching the stars begin to twinkle in the vast, endless sky, feels like a beautiful promise. A promise of forever, not in the grand, sweeping sense, but in the quiet, everyday way that love endures. The wind stirs the leaves of the trees, and the night air grows cooler. But inside, the warmth of your love fills the room, wrapping you both in a cocoon of peace. There are no more questions about what comes next, no more fears about the future. The love between you is enough. It will always be enough. You know, in this quiet moment, that you have found the true meaning of love, not in the fiery passion of youth, not in the grand gestures or the perfect moments, but in the quiet, steady rhythm of a life shared. Love is not something you find. It is something you build together day by day, moment by moment. It is in the trust you place in each other and the understanding that you will always walk beside one another through the changing seasons of life, through the quiet moments and the noisy ones alike. As the night deepens and the stars shine brightly above, you close your eyes for a moment, letting the quiet peace of the evening wash over you. In the stillness, you realize that this is the heart of love, the steady, unwavering presence of two souls who have found each other and chosen day after day to stay. The future is unknown, but with each other, you know that you are exactly where you need to be. And that is enough. As the months melt into years, the world around you continues to shift, but the love you and your partner share has found a steady rhythm, a deep current that runs beneath everything. The initial spark of love that once burned so brightly has transformed, not into something dimmer, but into a soft, unbreakable light like the steady glow of a lantern, guiding you both through the seasons of your lives. Time has become less of a measurement and more of a companion, a friend who walks alongside you, whispering its wisdom with every passing day. The village, once unfamiliar and new, now feels like home. The houses, the streets, the gardens you've walked through countless times, they are part of the fabric of your days, the background to the quiet love you share. There's a sense of contentment that comes from knowing every corner of this place From the familiar sound of the bell tolling in the distance to the rhythm of life that pulses through the town, asterisk in the mornings, you both wake to the soft light of dawn spilling through the window. The air is cool, the world still fresh with the remnants of night. You've created a ritual of these early moments, soft words exchanged over cups of tea, a shared glance, the quiet understanding that today, just like yesterday, you will walk this path together. There is no rush, no pressure. There is simply this moment, and in it, all the peace you need. The days pass without drama. There are no great sweeping events or grand revelations. There is only the simple pleasure of each other's company, the soft touch of hands brushing while you prepare breakfast, the shared laughter over small, insignificant things, the conversations that drift from one topic to another seamlessly, connecting the threads of your lives. This, you realize, is the beauty of love, its quiet, steady nature. It is not something to be chased or fought for. It simply is, like the air you breathe, like the steady rhythm of your heart. Yet, even in this piece, there is a deeper, unspoken connection growing between you both. The things that once seemed important achievements, external validation, the need to prove something to the world have faded into the background. What matters now is not what you can do or what you've accomplished, but who you are to each other. The love you share is rooted in this understanding, in the recognition that you are enough together. The complexities of life no longer threaten the bond you formed. You have built it carefully with intention, and it has become an uncheckable foundation. Asterisk, one afternoon, as you walk through the village together, the sky above a soft, dusky blue, you pause to watch a group of children playing by the riverbank. The laughter rings out, clear and pure, as they race each other along the shore, their carefree joy filling the air. You turn to your lover, and for a moment you both simply stand there, watching the scene unfold in front of you. There is no need for words. In this quiet exchange, you both understand the simple truth. Love is not about keeping score, nor is it about waiting for the next big moment. It is about these small fleeting instances, the shared smiles, the quiet moments of connection, the stillness that binds you both as the evening falls and the stars begin to twinkle softly above. You and your lover walk back to the house, your hands clasped together. The world around you is quiet now, save for the soft rustling of the trees and the distant hum of the river. The sky, once full of the busy colors of day, has softened into the cool tranquility of night. The air is cool, but not cold, and the night feels as if it is holding its breath, wrapping the world in its peaceful embrace. Inside, the house is warm, filled with the gentle light of candles and the comforting scent of familiar things, tea, fresh bread, the slight, earthy scent of the flowers you keep by the window. You take a deep breath as you step inside, feeling the peace of the evening settle over you. You and your lover share a smile, quiet and understanding, as you move about preparing the simple, comforting dinner that has become your shared ritual. Sitting at the table, eating in silence, you both understand that love is not something that needs to be shouted from the rooftops or celebrated in grand gestures. It is in these quiet moments, these everyday moments, that love is truly felt. The laughter, the soft touches, the shared meals, the unspoken understanding. These are the things that make a life together beautiful. As you sit back in your chair, feeling the contentment that only comes with being fully present, you realize that you have found something rare and precious, the peace that comes from living a life that is shared, built not on perfection, but on steady commitment, understanding, and love. You have learned that love does not demand anything from you except your presence, your willingness to accept, and your ability to grow together. Evening winds down, and you and your lover retire for the night. Your heart's full, your mind's at ease. The world outside may continue to change, but in this quiet home, with the one you love by your side, you have found something that transcends time itself. The promise of forever is not a lofty ideal to chase, but the quiet, unwavering certainty that you're exactly where you need to be. As the days stretch on, you and your lover settle into the rhythm of a life well lived each day. A beautiful repetition of the last, filled with the simple joys of shared presence. The outside world, with all its demands, no longer holds the same weight it once did. You no longer rush toward an uncertain future or dwell on the regrets of the past. In each other, you have found your anchor, and in that quiet anchoring, there is peace. The world outside is still full of the usual noise footsteps of busy villagers, children's laughter echoing through the streets, the occasional shout of a merchant calling out their wares, but inside your home, a gentle stillness persists. The walls, once filled with uncertainty and longing, now carry a peaceful hum, a quiet reassurance that no matter what happens, this moment, here and now, is enough. You have both learned that love does not need to be an ideal to chase, a prize to win, or a goal to achieve. Love simply is. It exists in the quiet hours spent together, in the shared smiles over meals, in the warmth of hands held at the end of a long day. Love lives not in the grand gestures, but in the smallest of details, the way the evening light filters through the windows, the soft sound of your footsteps walking side by side, the peaceful silence that speaks more than words ever could. Evening, as the cool breeze rustles the leaves outside, you find yourselves in the garden again. The flowers you've both carefully tended over the months are blooming now. Their vibrant colors a gentle reminder of the quiet beauty that grows in both nature and the heart. The day's warmth has softened, and the night air is cool and fragrant with the scent of jasmine and lilacs. You sit together, side by side, in the fading light, and for a long moment, there is only the sound of your breathing, slow and steady. Look at your lover, their face softened by the twilight, their eyes full of the same quiet understanding that has always been there. In the depths of those eyes, you see everything that has passed between you, the pain, the joy, the moments of uncertainty and doubt, and you realize that all of it, every step of the journey, has led you to this moment. This moment here in the garden, where the world feels still, where the future is no longer a worry, and where the love you share is enough. In the silence that follows, you feel the weight of everything you've learned, the peace that comes from acceptance, from understanding, from simply being present with the one you love. You don't need to say anything. You don't need to prove anything. In the quiet of this moment, you both understand that this right here is what you've been searching for. Not a perfect love, not an idealized romance, but a love that has weathered storms and grown stronger in the process. A love that has found peace in the simplicity of each day spent together. The stars begin to twinkle softly in the sky above, and you lean back, feeling the cool grass beneath you, the warm presence of your lover beside you. The night has settled in completely now, and the world seems to have softened to a quiet hum, as if everything around you is gently exhaling after a long, deep breath. You close your eyes for a moment, taking it all in the stillness, the peace, the love, and in that stillness, you realize that you are no longer searching for anything. You are no longer looking for an answer, a destination, or a promise of forever. You have found it all right here. The love you share is steady, unshakable, and true. The journey you've traveled together has led you both to a place of peace, where there is no need to rush, no need to worry. There is only this moment, and in it, you have everything you need. As you sit there, side by side, under the blanket of stars, you know that the love you share will continue to grow. It will not always be easy, and it will not always be perfect, but it will always be real. And that, more than anything else, is enough.